All right, guys, gals, welcome back to SOS. I am BA, and I like to make very unusual knife sheaths and leather weird things that most people don't usually sell. They're all custom and weird and extreme, and they're meant for the survivalist. They're meant for the person who's going to be fighting zombies or tyranny or whatever it is. I know. It's like to have some fun. All right. Whatever it is you're going to be dealing with, bugging out, or whatever it is, survival related. I like to make these kits. And then I make with these kits, it includes a knife and all kinds of stuff. It's not just your simple little folding taco sheath. But today, my favorite knife company on the planet, Tops Knives. I've got some. I know. What's in the bag? It's huge. It is. It is huge. 101% made in the USA. I love their stuff. I mean, their sheaths are amazing. Their quality is like unlike anything else. Very thick, powerful blades. I love these things. And their sheaths themselves there's nothing wrong with them. They're not skimpy sheaths. They're high quality. And this is some about like a 9-ounce, 8-ounce leather. That's very thick. They've already got something going on. Their snaps are one direction type thing. Because how less, like this here, this is some very thick stuff. It's like a rubberish, but it only goes like that certain direction. So you got to kind of like tilt it up. So you're not going to just lose your blade. It's not going to just fly out the way they have these set up. But this comes out. I gotta share real quick before I go too far in. The way they got that's very nice with the thumb. Just like that. It's the Bestia. And this thing is huge. I'm gonna pull this stuff off real quick so you can get a better look at it. I'm gonna have the link to this blade in the drop down for those of you that want to go to the website and get this blade. This thing is enormous. It is a fascinating looking blade. Now to explain kind of like its uses, I like that. I like the tones, the colors they use. It's got a couple of lanyard sections back here. Got a nice section here you could use for like a bow drill on both sides. Get you a fire going the old fashioned way. Now the way this blade works, it's more of it's not like a machete, it's like a kukri. And I've always enjoyed kukri blades, and usually when I go hiking, I take a kukri. Pretty much every time I go hiking, I take a kukri. But this is something that you should definitely have with you for clearing out debris. If you don't want to use a hatchet the whole time or camp axe the whole time, for clearing out something, you know, obviously you're not going to go cut down wild trees in the forest that are at your local parks and stuff. You're going to go and, you know, if you need to cut something up to clear a path, this will definitely do it. And it's got a good balance. It's got a very good balance to it. I like the way that feels. I mean, it feels like you're going to be fighting with this thing. It's almost like a boomerang. It's got a weird feel. Curved. It's not like chopped in. The point here, the way this works when you drive in, this will stick every time. So you don't need your point to come up this way. You would need it to be here because of the angle that it's swinging. I mean, this is a head splitter. This thing is thick. And we'll get you some measurements when we come over to the table before we get started. Pull you over. I always love getting back to work, doing the videos that I like doing. This is the type of stuff that I like doing, and I've been so busy. We just had another kid, Faye, was born, and we've been a little busy with that. The new addition. So let's get this measured out here. Now I want to do it at an angle first. Give you an idea. That's like 13. That's just blade. That's all blade right there, 13. And if you did the whole length, Like if you went into this arc here, that's like 7 there, and then you came in to here, and that's like another 6. That whole thing is like 13. That's crazy. That's all blade. I had to use the yardstick because the blade's so huge. I usually use my metal ruler for the sizing. Now let's go ahead and this thing's razor sharp, so you have to be very careful with this blade handling it. Their knives will, I mean, they're just crazy how sharp they are when you get them. So you got about 6.5 ish. Probably it's almost close to 7 just in grip. So you've got this notch right up here if your finger went in that groove. And another thing I like about their knives, when you take these things apart and you go inside, in a lot of these places, there's places where they're like a little pocket where you can store something in it. So it's always useful to know that. You don't necessarily need to do it, but it's just good to know. I mean, when you're buying something, it's always good to know it's got that little extra pocket you can put some. But it is a full tang. It is solid. So I don't want you to get conflicted with that. Now, I got to figure out my plan for it. Now that we know how big it is and what we're dealing with, we need to figure out kind of what we're going to be using it for. I want to set this up for like some sort of like a jungle type thing. I want this to have a lot of survival gear in it. I'm going to pack the kit with unusual stuff and also things that would be more of a doomsday scenario, and I like to do that with these. I've got a lot of project kits I've kind of set to the side just for this video, so I'm going to show you a lot of the cool stuff that you can actually order separately from things that I've, so you can own yourself. You don't have to, things that way you can build your own kits and not just buy some kit that's pre-made. And you can fabricate your own thing. So this is kind of what this is all about. So we're gonna build this thing up. We're gonna make it very wastelandish type thing. I think with some craziness, with some buckles and stuff. I think it's some crazy stuff going on. I got some things going on in my head and some pockets, and I just don't know where I'm gonna go with it. Definitely a ferro rod and all that stuff. The same stuff I normally do, but with a little twist to it. So we'll see where it turns up. First things first, I got to assemble some items for this kit. We've got an Altoids tin. I'm going to make another pouch for, something like a multi-tool. I'm going to go with this one here. It rocks on. I did a little video about this one. It's got everything you need for basic stuff. It's got scissors. It's got your different tips in here as well. Files. Got a knife, a spare knife, and there's a bunch of other multiple tools in there, can opener, you name it. So that'll be another good tool. I'm going to make a little pocket because it's short. It doesn't take up a lot of room. It almost would fit inside one of these, but I'm going to make a separate pouch. So this thing will be a 2-pouch carry. So we got this. I'm going to do something like this as a capsule for storing. I'm going to put matches and whatnot inside that one. I want to do, this will be hidden, but what will be seen, I know this already has a compass on it, but that's okay. 2 is 1, right? So I'm gonna add that somewhere. I want to put something, decorative kind of thing, but also functional. For flashlight, I'm going to do this brass Olight. We're going to go with, plus it's a AA. You can just swap it out. I believe that's a AA or it's just a AAA. I might be wrong. It's a AAA. So we got a AAA, as you were. So AAA flashlight. And you can just change this out with another battery along the way. See how batteries affect compasses? I always tell the people this, but no one really gets it. But watch what happens. See, anytime you put you see that thing spinning? Bring it a little bit closer so you can see. You can see the effects that a battery has on a compass. So just make sure where you put your compass and your battery, they're not together, because then you'll be relying on it and it's completely off. I'm going to do some other storage capsules. These are cool. you can put a lot of good stuff in here, like a sewing kit, and then, you know, whatever else. I'm gonna do that too. And then writing utensil. I'm doing this backup flint. This is so you can use flints from like old lighters in the event you need it. A whistle. I'm doing a mini pry bar. I'm going to incorporate all of these into this. And then for my ferrocerium rod, I'm going to use, this is 7.62 by 39. You get AK brass. I just drilled out the back side and installed this. So you can remove this as your pace counter, standard pace counter. And that comes in one of these kits. I'll have to show you kind of where that comes from, because someone's probably going to want to know. They make packaged kits. There it is. They make packaged kits. It's this one here. This is redvex.com if you're looking for that. I'll put the link to one of these. I've got different colors of these. I use these with this because they support vets. We've got, let's see, I got some extra paracord and stuff. This is the toolkit that comes with the multi-tool. So you'll have a bunch of different tools to use. Probably do some ranger bands along the way. And then here I've got another thing that I wanted to install in here. This has got things for jimmy and locks. It's like an escape tool. This is Teflon cord, and then you've got, that's also another means of escape tool. You can use this not only just for that, but you could make a good quality bow drill from it. You can saw. One of these can actually saw through a lock. I've seen that before. So it's always good to have this with you for different types of things. I've got a handcuff key in here, and got a little glow stick so I can see where I'm going. It's just an extra added thing to add to it. I thought that'd be kind of cool to add to the box. But inside the box, I want to put some other unique things. I always usually go through, I get like my water kit, let's do some water bag. We don't have water. You gotta have these whirl packs. Do that for water. Probably do something for some Spartan fire for some. This is always good to use. Get you a good cut of Spartan fire off there. Some of this stuff here. This is always good. They always tear these off in leaflets, and it's like wax paper, and it's really good for getting a fire going. And that's really all you need, about that much, just to bring along. It's going to go inside your tin, and there's going to be a few things that are just going to get tucked away in your tin. You could do all kinds of stuff. Signal mirrors, little survival kits here and there, arrowheads, you name it. I like to go with the Grim Workshop. I've got a variety of unusual stuff. So I just kind of go through and I pick some card kit that I really want to use with this. Any of these are going to fit in there. So you would just pick out the one that you think would be most important. You know, you've got sewing, you got something for fishing, hunting. These are some that are just generally for fishing, and then you've got, this is also for snare wire, so you can utilize snare wire. If you get paracord that already has snare wire in it, which is what I'm going to use with this kit, you can remove the snare wire from your paracord, put it with these, and then set you up some snares to catch some small game. Different fishing lures. You can go with fishing lures if you want. I'm not sure exactly which one. I'm just going to pick from one of these at some point. This one has a good little mix of stuff. You could use this for all kinds of stuff. And then, you know, you got, these are like, this is another signature. This is from way back. A lot of people probably remember this one. But these are all signature editions. So I just find one of these that I think would be the best for a survival card, just to carry one along with me. And some of these are always really cool, like this one here. It makes you want to grab that one just because the knife looks so gangster. So it's really hard to decide on a lot of these, but I'll pick one of these to go in the kits. So I just want to kind of share that with you guys. And you can do a variety of stuff. I got all kinds of unusual things, glow sticks, other little miniature flashlights and stuff, small tool kits, you know, that could be used along the way. but it just doesn't fit this project. So like some matches, a good match kit, something like that, bring along. This will keep them nice and safe, putting them in here. Be good to have some matches along with me, just in case. I'll get one of these bigger packs. I think that one's a little bit low. And you can do water filtration and stuff. I've got, let's see here. So now I've got some more. I've got aqua tabs. So I just got to grab them real quick for the video. Some aqua tabs here. And cut off a couple of these guys. Try and cut them so I don't mess the other ones up. So I got, there we go. That gives me 4, and I've got my whirl pack, so I've already got water covered. Let's do something simple so I don't have to worry about fishing kits. Let's do a small fishing kit. It's kind of what you would see in a survival knife. So we'll kind of throw that over there. Let's do a survival saw. These are always nice. You can remove these big rings here because they just take up a lot of room. You can replace that with paracord. A little survival saw works pretty good for cutting off branches. And let's do a couple of, well, we'll do a couple of mini towelettes. These expand when water hits them. Probably add like galls or something. What else we got here? Triple ointment. Throw some aspirin in there. What's good to do is put some sunscreen in there. A drink pack. Give me a drink pack. You never know, you might not want to eat most of that garbage or drink most of that garbage. I'll do a couple of bandages and eventually get a boo-boo and a septic wipe. I'll make like a little kind of a first aid kit, but not really. What's this here? Insect repellent. We'll do some insect repellent. I always have these little kits. You know, I've got a lot of these little kits. And I like to pick through them and build stuff, you know. You never know what you might run up on. You might need it. Alright. Let's see here. What have I got in this one? I think that was about it for what I wanted to pack in here. Let's do a couple of big fire tenders. Do a couple of big fire tenders in the event that I need them. And I think that's about it. I mean, it covers water, fishing. Shelter, you're just going to have to get creative. There's not enough room in a knife kit to store something for shelter. You've got cordage. Cordage will help with building your shelter. But generally, let's just get, we're going to do this stuff, this will all go, and the whirl pack, this and this will all go in my kit along with one of these, and that should do it for that, and then we'll move on. I've got a sewing kit. I know I've got some sewing kits laid out. Here, let me grab a sewing kit. I've got drawers full of all kinds of unique stuff. It's always a lot of fun to do these projects, and then it's like, there we go. We'll do a couple of sewing kits. There we go. I've got drawers and drawers and drawers of all kinds of unique survival gear that I build these kits with, so I just kind of dig through and see what I want. That pretty much does it. So I think this kit's going to be pretty solid. Sewing kit would be nice to have. So, all right, I'm going to get this thing slapped together. Forgot. Let's do magnesium fire capsules. Those work really good for starting fires. It'll burn through a 2x4. So it's always good to have. I'm going to add a couple of those. I got a whole bunch of those things around here. I'm going to add 2 of those. You just open the capsule and pour it where you want the fire. I've got other fire related. I don't know if these matches would fit better in this capsule, because I want to do matches in this capsule. And if anything, I might just have to break that stick down, because it would be like this. So these would almost fit perfectly. So I might just go ahead and try that, but it's all good. But yeah. Yeah, these are waterproof matches. I've just made them shorter. Try and get them joined in here. Probably go halfway. They'll do like this and this. See if I can get them to fit a little bit better. One down, one up.
something like that. See if I can put another one down. There we go. So I can get my magnesium to fit in there. Pack that in there pretty good. That's about all it's going to fit in there. I'm going to have a little trouble with that one. Let's take one of those out. There we go, that fits a little bit better. And let's make sure I can get this on there without damaging anything. Point you down. Yeah, I might not be able to put that many in there. 4 is good. Let's just replace those with these. I'll put a couple of those in there. We'll put 4 of these in there. I know I shouldn't be taking so long doing all this stuff, but let's do 3 of those. That's a pretty good system though. I mean, it's a lot of stuff. Here's some extra rubber bushings I had left over. I'm just going to shove those in there. And then now I just have to bundle this into this so that it fits. And I got to put a striker in there. Let's just go ahead and rip off the side of the box here. Just put that in there without lighting myself on fire. That'd be one heck of an adventure, wouldn't it? That should fit perfect. There we go. Now let's just get this stuff where it needs to go. I don't like how close that is. Yeah. Y'all are waiting for me to catch on fire, aren't you? You're like, he's going to catch on fire any minute. Y'all are silly. Why do I want to keep the rubber bushings? I don't know. Because I can. I just want to keep them with it in case I need them. Plus I can use them for fire tinder if necessary. Now, get your butt in there. Alright, let's get this thing turning. Let's loosen that end. That'll help it settle. There we go. Now that's tight. Good stuff. Ta-da! That was no trouble at all. This is an epic fire kit though. It's a good little rescue. That's got many fires going on there. Okay, that covers that. We'll move on. I got my other kit packed and I managed to get a sewing kit inside. Well, I think it turned out okay. A lot of knickknacks to put in here. And I did that because I kind of was concerned with how this one's going to look. Because I've always wanted to do a crazy apocalyptic sheath with a bunch of brass type items. Got these all set up. And I did the rivets on the outside so you could kind of have a little flare there. And I was going to go with brass rivets, but when I went to use them, I noticed that it just clashed, so it made it too much brass, so I had to break it up and go with some. Those are gunmetal, so if you're looking for that, just I usually use tandyleather.com because they support vets. I usually go with them. They do a lot of veteran programs,
so I usually go with them for a lot of my supplies. When it comes to any hardware, rivets, like, you know, I use on big projects like this, I don't use as many medium rivets as I do large, because you've got a lot of meat and potatoes to get through as far as leather goes. This is 8-ounce leather mixed with the pouches. Work best if you're using 4-ounce or 5, you know, maybe 6. It depends. Just nothing too thick if you're making pouches and flaps and all that stuff, and if you're doing detail work, especially when you get into wallets and stuff. So you've got to bring it down a notch, or it's just too hard to work with. So, but your thicker stuff, gun holsters, huge knives that are really sharp. Keep in mind, this tops knives. This knife can cut through 10-ounce leather easy, just like butter. Like it's like a hot knife through butter. You have to be very careful with what you build. So I always put in, when you guys seen that one section of the video, I was putting in, I put in blade stops with 10-ounce leather. I use 10-ounce leather on the insides, and then when I coat that up before I put all this stuff. And you've got to organize. Putting these sheets together are not easy, because you've got to organize where everything's going to go before you even start building, or you'll paint yourself into a corner. It's like mopping the floor, you know what I mean? If you mess up one step and then you can't go backwards, because when you start going backwards, you're tearing the project apart. So you got to keep that in mind. I've been doing this a long time, many years, and so it makes it a lot easier for me to, whoa. Did you see that? Hi there, Carpenter Bee. Let's turn this thing around. Better look at it. And this is the sailor wrap that I like to do with the paracord. This is survival cord. It's got fire cord. It's got snare wire. It's got, I did about 100, well, I think it's about 25 feet of cord. I was about to say 100. I know it's not 100. It's 25 feet or so, and might have been about 30 when I measured it. But it's got a fishing line in it as well. It's got a Kevlar cord in this one. This is the one that has Kevlar cord, and I like to use that instead of the snare wire for certain things. And then it all came together pretty good. All the kits have everything that's needed, and it's nice having a section just for multi-tool supplies and fire kits, flashlights, all that stuff. So the glow-in-the-dark tape that I use, this is found on aboard shipboard things, but you can get it in rolls. If you go to the Amazon link that I post in every one of my videos to the storefront that I have, I put all this stuff in there under doodads and thingamabobs and stuff like that that people are looking for, and this is the kind of stuff that I find all the time. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and please like, please share, get the video out, and help that algorithm. And God bless all of you, and take care. Stay sane.